Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral. With me today is Sunshine Cathedral's executive minister. He's also my husband, Bishop Robert Griffin. Sunshine Cathedral's Minister of Connections, the Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall, the Sunshine Cathedral Minister of Education. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be a part of it no matter where you live in the world. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities. At Sunshine Cathedral, we want you to know that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. What's the queer perspective on body-spirit connection? Bodily autonomy is a big topic these days. Body shame is another. Abuse of bodies, objectifying bodies, condemning bodies, praising bodies, being jealous of bodies, trying to improve the condition of bodies, trying to cure diseases that impair the body. These are all issues we face. Queer people often try to make their bodies more beautiful, while others try to embrace their bodies as they are and affirm that every body has something to celebrate and enjoy. What's the healthiest approach? The spiritual approach. And speaking of spiritual, are we bodies with spirits or spirits with bodies? Or are our bodies a manifestation of spirit, matter and spirit being essentially the same? And does any of that matter? Which is the most queer perspective?
Well, now.
Which is the most queer perspective? Gee, I don't know how many, there's 4 people at this table. So I would suspect that we all have different views. I mean, queers and bodies and that kind of thing, it's not a one-size-fits-all. The one question that kind of jumped out at me, though, is, are we bodies with spirits or spirits with bodies? My answer would be yes.
I love it.
Darrell? No.
Yeah, who am I to disagree? Yeah, exactly. Because of the options given, I think I would be more likely to say of all those, the one that said spirit manifesting as the physical, matter and energy being matter basically just being energy that's slowed down enough that you can see it and feel it and interact with it. Now I think that's kind of a quantum perspective. It is certainly a theological perspective for me, because I think there must be one thing, one real thing, and that everything that we see and interact with and are comes out of that thing. Now, am I going to call that thing the universe? Am I going to call that thing energy? Am I going to call that thing God? Well, I'm always working on that. That's always in flux. But there's a thing, and it's the thing. And so if matter is energy that is slowed down enough that we can see it, well, it's just the same thing. It's all the same thing. And I'm very fascinated by how the elements of the earth are in our body, how elements in the cosmos are in our body, that some of the elements in the cosmos are from stars that are long dead. That we have elements in our body that were created billions of years ago, and here, but it's here in me.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever the energy of life is, it's obviously in me, flowing through me. That the water, the oceans, we are like, most of our body is water. And so it's all something, you know what I mean? So we're one with the earth, we're one with the cosmos. And so the physical is spiritual, or the spiritual, or the physical is spiritual, or the physical is a manifestation of what I call spiritual. Might just be energy, might just be the universe or whatever. So it's one of those existential questions, I guess. But what I am sure of is that whatever is ultimately real, we're part of it, and we can't not be part of it.
I think we're all connected at some level, in some shape or fashion. But as I was reading through this and thinking about the story, it's like if it's about mind, body, and spirit, that, how do we connect that first within ourselves? And what does it look like within our own body, and how do we own that in our own body, and then how we connect with other people that are around us. And so I think a big part of it is a lot of it is about how, it's about my body, about my spirit, about my mind, about how bringing all those things together based upon lived experiences, based upon shared experiences, based on religious experience or spiritual, whatever they may be. But it is that how do we bring it all together, and how does that fit the person, the authentic person that I want to live and be.
As we were talking, I was listening to you talking, that Michael Jackson song, I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
We all perceive ourselves in different ways as we go through life. And my hope is that as we look into the mirror, we see something there that we can embrace and love. And I think that that's where it mentions that queer folk are often trying to change the way they look. All folk do it in one way or another. There are hundreds of cover girls and cover boys out there. You go into the cosmetic.
Better work.
Come on. You go into the cosmetic area, and there are tons of ways of changing yourself. I'm going a little more gray. I may put a little blue in my hair at some point. But in answer to the question, spiritual or body, whatever, we're everything.
Yeah.
I often talk to people about the Big Bang Theory being the same thing and God created the heavens and the earth. I don't see any difference in that, and that means that we're all in one way or another interconnected. We've said it already at this table a couple of times. Believe it. We all are in one way or another connected, and what we do to make ourselves look more like what we want, what a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing that is.
And it's all in flux anyway.
Yeah.
If the universe had a beginning, and who knows, is it eternal? They don't know. We don't know. But if it has, we can date it back 13.8 billion years. So if it had a beginning, it's 13.8 billion years. But we can't swear it had a beginning. Right. It may have always been here. Or was there another universe that it came out of? Or. So there's so much that we don't know, and we're part of the mystery. Now, we are on a pretty insignificant rock and not the most impressive galaxy in an unfathomably large and expanding universe that is at least 14 billion years old. So I always think we're so full of ourselves anyway. You know, when you break it down,
Don't take it seriously.
when you break it down, and you're like a louse on the scalp of some big cosmic entity. But it's and we can ask these questions and think these thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's like we're absolutely nothing, and my gosh, we're so impressive and great.
Yeah.
And so if you're feeling bad, remember how great you are. And if you're feeling superior, remember really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a both and. But I think what's important for queer people is that all of the ways we've been coming at it equals your body is good.
Yes.
Because people have been telling you your body is bad, or how you use your body is bad, or how you experience joy in your body is bad, or how you share your body with someone else is bad. You can't. If this body is good and this body is good, and these bodies consensually want to be together, it doesn't infringe on any other promise or commitment. It's two bodies respecting each other, caring about each other, giving each other pleasure, not breaking any other promise or any other hearts. If all you got is some God that I can't prove exists, says it's wrong, what you got is nothing.
Amen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So your body is good.
Yes.
Your body is good. And that also goes for the queer community has been so sexualized and reduced to their sexuality and their physicality that queer people, not all, some of us go to therapy, we try to work it out, but a lot of queer people are desperately afraid of not being youthful. Yeah. They don't mind that they've lived 80 years. They just want to make sure that you think they look like they're 50. They've only been living 50 years. And so because they are afraid that if they're not pretty, they're not valuable.
Yeah.
And that if they don't look young, they're not pretty.
Yeah.
And so what happens when this sags, or when that gets stretch marks, or when that starts creaking every time you move it, and so I love that there is a movement to embrace that and say, and there are people not so much gay people, mostly straight people, but there are people now who are saying, I don't need a facelift. This is what an 80-year-old face looks like. And there's a lot of wisdom and joy and humor coming out of this face. Or, silver hair can be quite beautiful. And, so
Or no
just
hair.
rock it.
Or no hair.
So I'm just going to rock it or whatever. Those two things is one, your body is good. And when it loses or gains some weight, when it loses or gains some muscle mass, when it gains some wrinkles, when its hair turns a different color or leaves you altogether, or when some starts growing in places that you never thought.
Yes.
That's all nature. It's all part of the one great thing, and it's good.
Yes, it is.
And so that's part of the assignment. That's part of the mission, is we still have to learn to love ourselves, and that include our physical selves.
Amen.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad. We want to thank you for joining us. We're here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
The Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together.
We all are in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.
Bye.